Hi parents, today we're going to look at Part B of Module 1 Lesson 5, which is expanded in standard form. So we'll look at the same number that we had yesterday and plug it into our place value chart. So the kids know that thousands is represented by 1,000, hundreds is represented by 100, 10 is represented by 10, and 1 is represented by 1. The tenth is represented by 1 over 10 or in decimal form as 0.10. The hundredth is represented by 1 over 100 or 0.01. And the thousandths is represented by 1 over 1,000 or 0.001. Students aren't required to write that with their place value chart. They already kind of have that memorized even from last year, but I'm just kind of putting it there so it will make a little bit more sense why we do expanded the way that we do it. So we're going to plug in our number to our place value chart, and we're going to do one digit at a time. So it would be 4 times, since it's in the ones place, we're going to put a 1, plus 2 times, since it's in the tenths place, we're going to put a tenth, and 9 times, since it's in the hundredths place, we're going to put 100. And that is it. Now sometimes they're going to ask them to write it in expanded form using decimals. So in that case, it would be 4 times 1 because it's in the ones place. Since the 2 is in the tenths place, it would be represented by 0.1. And since the 9 is in the hundredths place, it would be represented by 0.01. So that's how to do expanded form using the place value chart. I'm going to show you now some standard form. Standard is basically writing it as a decimal. So they're working backwards here. So they might be presented with this problem. 4 and 29 hundredths. And they are asked to write it in standard form. I told them to go ahead and get that place value chart out and just write it in as you read it. Since the word and is the decimal, 4 is what goes before the decimal. So the 4 would go right here. And here's the decimal. Behind the decimal is the number 29, and that 9 will be in the hundredths place since it's the last digit. So we're going to go ahead and find the hundredths place, and we're going to put the 9 there. And remember that it's 29, so we'll go ahead and add the rest of that number. That's how we would do that. They'll also give them some in this format and ask them to write it in standard form. And in that case, again, we have our Hungry Tiger chart or the place value chart. The 10 is the whole number, so we will go ahead and put it there before the decimal. And the 8 hundredths is going to go in the hundredths, so we'll put it right here. And this blank space right here, to make sure that that 8 doesn't slip down, we're going to hold its place by putting in a 0. So that number in standard form or decimal form would look like this. And then they'll also have them work backwards from the expanded form. So if they gave them an expanded form such as this, all they would have to do is draw their place value chart. And this tells them that the 8 is in the tens place, the 5 is in the tenths place, and the 6 is in the hundredths place. So to hold everything in place, they would just put a 0. So this in standard form would be represented as 80 and 56 hundredths. And that's it, Module 1, Lesson 5, Part B. Thank you.